to Villans' little hobbies right now.
Hello guys and welcome back to Dylan's Little Hobbies, and in today's video we are indeed going to be discussing as well as ranking the main villains. We're not doing every single villain because my god, we would be here for about 10 hours if we do that, but we are going to be at least discussing the main villains, our thoughts about it, and ranking the main villains of none other than Ninjago. We're going to be hearing both my thoughts and my buddy Ninjroid243. Ninjroid, go ahead and tell the people where they can find you at.
You can go check me out on my own YouTube channel, Ninjroid243. We're over there. Galactic Chat is returning on Saturday night at 8:30. So guys, go check it out and go get Disney Plus if you don't. Because if you don't have Disney Plus or own a copy of Rise of Skywalker, you will not be able to view Episode 9 from the Darkness when it eventually comes out in 2024.
Yep. By the way, I want to give a big shout out to my buddy, the Awesonator, who just finished his live stream with Ninjroid. We had a blast over there. Very interesting conversations by the end. Go ahead and check out that live stream.
Yeah. Shut up, Dylan, alright?
In fact, you know what, guys? Just listen to the last, 40 minutes. 40 minutes of the stream. That's all you need is the last 40 minutes.
We're trying to end it. We just keep on rambling about the same topic.
Oh, dude, that was hilarious. But anyway, yep. And I have another surprise to you guys. This is just hilarious. I woke up today. My hair was a complete mess. But I kept it because... Do I not look like Zane? Huh? What do you guys think? Should I just keep this hairstyle? Try to keep it? I kind of look like Zane, don't I? I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna say this is Zane's hair. With that said, let's go ahead and get started on these characters, shall we? So we are both going to be doing it. Ninjroid has his up as well as mine. And the first characters we have here are none other than the twins. Which, yeah, let's do this. This is A, B, C, F, or please don't ever exist again. They're going right there.
Okay.
What about yours, Ninjroid?
Alright, so my tier list, we have special names. So we have the Almighty, Great, Good, Meh, and Dog Shit. Alright? So, let me tell you, the only villains going down in dog shit are these guys.
Yep. Now go ahead and give your initial thoughts for the brothers from Season 7. Why do we hate them so much?
Oh, there's many reasons.
Oh,
Number
there are
one,
many reasons.
I actually liked the first episode of Hands of Time, and I actually liked Chronix more than Crux at first. Until then, legit, their motives are so unclear in this season.
They really are.
Also want to get the Time Blades and the Time Punch and all the...
And I'm telling you, the Time Blades are probably the worst name for the weapons in Ninjago. And I'm serious. Ninjago has some really interesting weapon names that don't exactly sound amazing, but I mean, Time Blades. Of all things. Time Blades.
The Time Blades.
You couldn't come up with a better name than Time Blades.
Yeah, I know. I get that. What's another thing that I was about to say? Also, these villains are left with a destiny. We don't know where the hell they are now, and I'm kind of glad because these villains were so bad, and let's just pretend they never exist. And I kind of love how the show legit just pretends they never existed. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, other than bringing up
Woo's whole
his parents, Well, no, other than bringing up Kai's parents, we never actually have any reference to season 7 ever again. So,
Well, also Wu as a baby and him growing up and all that. I guess that's a reference because the Time Blade did that, if you remember.
it's true. That is true.
So,
But
but those are the only two things. Besides that, there's nothing else that's referenced or mentioned at all.
yep, same here. I just that season was so bad for multiple reasons, but then you actually look at the villains, and yeah, I can't stand those
I
two.
view their army actually even worse than
Then
themselves.
them, yeah, because their army are literally the snake guys again,
Yeah,
the
babies of the
serpentine
great
again,
devour.
only
Babies
baby
of the
great
great.
devourers.
Yep.
Really, like out of all, actually, that would really be interesting if they did a whole thing where their army was actually just a whole bunch of great devourers, and it was even if they were baby great devourers, but like be gigantic, monstrous, great devourers. I mean, think about it. You could barely defeat one of them. Granted, it was probably the adult, but now you gotta defeat like 100 10-foot tall monsters running around. I think
Mhm.
that would be interesting. Instead, what did they do? They literally just got a whole bunch of snakes and piled up into a pile of armor. Like, I don't know. I did not like I don't even know what they called them.
Mhm.
Do you remember?
Oh, the
It's like they call
Vermilion.
it Vermilion.
The
That's what it was. I did not like the Vermilion either. Again, it just seems like they had some really interesting ideas. It just they didn't take it far enough. I feel like they should have second thought a couple of things. And the villains again just they need better work. They need better work. Not to mention the way the villains took Kai and Nia's parents. Like Kai and Nia were like 2 foot away from him, and they just got up and left. Wait, what? Like I just so many reasons why these villains are just so bad. Why season 7 is not this channel's favorite stream. But if it is, go ahead and let us know in the comments below why you completely disagree and already hate our list. Because that just happens. With that said, the next character to talk about is Asphira. Now, something that I didn't tell you about Nindroid is when it comes to the top of the list, which is S tier, I want to try to do our top 5
Okay.
and then the rest.
Yeah.
And for me, Asphira is actually very close. She would be number 6 for me. I
Oh,
really
wow.
like her. She is an A tier. She is not S tier. She is not in my top 5. She is number 6 for me. I really end up liking her character, especially that whole season. I believe it was called the Chapter of Fire, with the whole thing with that she had with Kai and turning into the fire snake. I don't know why I enjoyed that so much. I enjoy her backstory with Wu a lot as well. I found her an interesting villain. She's brought up and crystallized a lot as well, even though, yes, this only has between season 1 and season 15 villains. It's interesting because the season 16 villain is also in here, and we'll talk about
All the
him in a little
season
bit.
16 villains are here.
Yeah, actually, all of them are. Asphira is,
Wait,
of course, a season 16 villain as well, and she is great.
besides Mystery and the Mechanic, which I actually think the Mechanic should be here, but
Yeah, Mr. Mechanic should be here, and I don't know why he's not. Yeah. But actually, I'm okay with it because Mr. Mechanic, if he was here, I would have stuck him in C anyway. Where would you stick him?
I would stick him actually in A tier.
In A tier? He
Yeah,
was a pretty good villain.
I really
I
like
don't think it
him.
was the best. Like I
he's
said,
not
he'd
the
probably be in
best.
C and B
Like
for me.
he's not top 5, but he is really close for me just because of how simple he is and how I view him more like, okay, if the ninja can fight a villain like on the spare time in between seasons, I see him doing the most out of all of them, if that makes
It's too
sense.
bad we don't get to see that a lot, actually, what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
we actually have with new Ninjago. Like we saw Mrs. Demir or whatever her name is, the fire, the girl with the jetpack or
we
whatever.
did see a little bit of her. I do remember her.
Yeah. She
Personally,
was
I
nice.
almost felt like while it was cool for her to have fire powers, she felt like a ripoff of that one motorcycle girl with the
Ultraviolet.
ultraviolet. Yeah, she felt like a ripoff of ultraviolet personally.
Yeah. All right.
So go
So
ahead and choose where you would place a sphere, dude.
okay. I'm actually gonna put her in. And now this might be. Uh, I got a debate on this. I'm gonna
You
put
got
her in
her in meh?
good. Good,
Ah, you
right?
can put her in good.
We're gonna put her in good. Now this is the good is like the C tier list right here.
Yeah, that's where
Um,
I'm at too.
she she is she is right there for right now, mainly because I feel like in season 11, there's a lot of wasted potential with her, and I actually did not start to like really like her till, believe it or not, the end half, like the last few episodes of season 11. Like what
I
I
can
mean by that
understand
is
why. I can understand why.
like what I mean by that is, the Wu origins, that
Mm-hmm.
Wu origin episode. Yeah, from that Wu origin episode and up, I actually really liked Alsphera. At the beginning, though, I was very like confused and very
Yeah,
mad.
she comes in
Like
as like a
she just
very odd side
appears, and
character.
I'm like, I'm there like she's like, I want revenge, and we're like, okay, for who? She doesn't
Uh,
even say why she wants revenge until like episode 10. Then I'm like, oh, okay, I like your character, but why were you being an annoying girl? And I loved how
mhm.
Crystallized legit just made fun of this
Yeah, like seriously,
entirely, you know?
we
Yeah.
need like a counter of how many times she says revenge. I'm pretty sure it was in the hundreds.
Honestly, I might actually just edit all the time she said revenge in the entire
You
show
should, you
and just
should, because
clip
I'm
it
actually
in
really
like
curious.
revenge,
Revenge,
revenge.
revenge, revenge, revenge. God, she says revenge so
Okay.
many times. But yeah,
So
during
that's
season
my
11, yeah, it would be really interesting in hindsight. Now that we know the story, it would have been better if like we had Scales, who is another character that's not here, but technically Scales isn't a main villain, so I'm okay with it. But Scales is a really great character as well. He would honestly be in my top 5 if he was placed in this list, which he's not. So. But Scales, it would be interesting if Scales like told them in an earlier season about out an evil queen who was tricked by a great evil person, and we didn't find anything out until season 11. Like if they hinted at her or something in hindsight, but
see, and
you know,
that's where I was confused about because I'm like, there was only 5 serpentine tribes, so I'm there like, wait, there's another one. And see, now episode 10 actually explained it, where they said
yeah.
this one was an even older one, like old, like very, very old, like, and all of that. Like, this wasn't.
Personally, I kind of wish if they just made her Pythor's.
No. I would actually have her be Hypnobrai because she looks like a Hypnobrai.
She does.
The
She
blue,
does.
the blue, like her normal colors.
Her normal look, not fiery gold like she has here. She's fiery gold right here because she has that's right, the crystallized version.
Yeah.
She's fiery gold right here because she has the fire powers from Kai, by the way, if you guys don't know. Alright, well, with that said, let's go ahead and talk about none other than, was without a doubt, my first one that's going to hit my top 5. I know, I can't believe it. We're already hitting my top 5. Vex.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely enjoyed Vex's character at the later half of season 11, the ice chapters with the whole situation with Zane. And while I feel like them quote unquote killing off Zane and then having him be the Ice Emperor and stuff like that, like I feel like the whole killing off Zane felt way too much like what they did in season 3 and was just rehashed, even though it was cool to have him end up being the Ice Emperor and all of that. But what I really just like about Vex personally is just how he ended up manipulating Zane, and his story is pretty sad. I mean, he was one of those I forget what they call him. The change. I'm gonna call him change agent. What do they call him? The morphers. Formlings. I wasn't that often. He's actually a formling, but the thing is, he's never had a animal spirit to form into. So he thought because of that, people were looking down upon him, when really none of his people were doing that. But he was too selfish to see that. And eventually he wanted power, he wanted control, he wanted people to acknowledge and care for him, and he turned evil because of that. I actually feel like Vex is a really interesting character to dive into, and I'm glad that we got him.
Yeah.
With that said, what about you, man?
I'm gonna put Vex for right now, actually, in the great category.
He is a great character. I really liked him at the end.
Like what you said, I actually really liked that. When I first watched season 11, I was very scared that because of how weak Alsphera was in the beginning, I was really scared that we were not going to get development for the ice chapter, but I was proved wrongly, and also Vex is one of the darkest villains as well.
Yeah. It's too bad we didn't get a whole season to really just dive into his character, even though what we've got was seriously dark enough.
And also, he is technically the real Ice Emperor, so...
Mm-hmm. And what's actually really crazy is even though he only had half a season to really explore him, nothing felt rushed as well with his character, which is also great. Unlike Asphera. Asphera, I will admit, does feel a little rushed.
Yeah.
Okay, the next character you talk about, I'm not even going to say his name. He's from season 4.
Oh, it's Master Chen. Alright.
Oh, God.
I am going to talk about Master Chen first because I'm going to be the more positive one.
Sure.
I'm
placing him there. Go ahead.
Well, Master Chen is easily another great villain. He is... I love Tournament of Elements. If anyone did not know, it's actually my 3rd favorite season. But Master Chen to me is a great villain. I think Master Chen is funny. He's also has a dark side to himself, and he is actually a very dark character as well. And he is a narcissist as well. And I like that he's fun. He is just like, he thinks he's in charge. He needs everything. He legit has a huge island full of cultists, and he is very smart by getting these elemental masters and stealing all their powers by them losing and all of that. Like, he is really smart with that, honestly. And he also has like people within his corner that will think of backup plans if anything happens that's wrong. I also like that he even used his own daughter to be a spy for them. All right, like that to me alone is like kind of like, what the hell? Like he is a villain, you know. Um, and also, the main reason why I put Chen in great is actually because he is the sensei to Lord Garmadon. For
Yeah,
God's
that's
sake,
actually
all
the
right.
crazy thing.
And
Yeah, when you realize
he
that.
legit taught Garmadon a lot of the shit that Garmadon knows. And he even gave Garmadon the title of Lord Garmadon. So the fact of the matter that Chen created Garmadon in a way, now it crystallized, we also know there's more to that, but Chen was half of why Garmadon became the way he did. So I think that is something very well done. And also, Chen separates the people as well because he revealed about that love letter thing. If you remember,
Yeah,
Wu wrote that love letter
I
to
remember that.
Misaku, and Chen grabbed it, and he's like, you can win her over if you mark your name down instead of Wu's.
Yikes.
And then
Which,
Garmadon
if,
did, you
oh
know,
god.
and then legit a thousand, well, not 1,000 years, but like 40 years later, Chen is like, oh yeah, you didn't know, that's what happened. And then Wu and Garmadon legit fought each other a little bit with a
Yep.
huge argument. And even Wu said, you are not my real brother. And I'm like, yo, this is Master Chen is some master planner. Like, man, he loves turning them against each. I mean, hell, he even turned the elemental masters against each other.
Yeah, and to think Lloyd could have actually ended up being Wu's grandson instead of Garmadon's. That would have changed the whole story there.
Yeah, Kai, and also the fact that Chen was trying to manipulate Kai as well with the staff. I also like that as well. That we saw Kai had a dark side to himself with the red eyes and all that. And yeah, I will say though, there are points where he is a little bit too comedical, and that's why he's not in the almighty tier. And
Hmm.
there's actually points where I prefer Klaus over Chen.
Now
Which,
that's where I was going to actually say. I would actually say Klaus. I wish Klaus was the main villain. I wish Klaus. Everything you were talking about with the whole thing about Garmadon and everything. I wish that was Klaus. And it's so weird because you know how I am with humor. I need humor in my shows. I need humor to like something. That's why I have a lot of problems with DC. Right here, we literally have basically the Joker on steroids. We have Shen. Why don't I like him? It's just It's too much for me. He's too much for me.
too much, too not enough.
I
What do
have
you
a
want,
limit.
Dylan?
I have a limit. If there's not enough humor, I don't like it. But if you go way too much, I'm done. So I do have my limits, and Shin, he's my limit,
Okay.
which is interesting. So for me, I place him at C. I wish it was really his henchman that was the quote unquote main villain because I feel like that would work. Besides, we still had Ninjago was really good at being that humorous show no matter what. We have the ninja. We have Kai trying to flirt with Skylar. We have Jay being Jay. I really felt like we didn't need a jokey villain, and I really tend to enjoy, for the most part, the darker villains tend to really become my favorites when it comes to Ninjago, which is just interesting because here we have a show like Batman, where it's just like dark and growing all the time. So the villains that are humorous in Batman tend to become my favorites. It's flipped there. Isn't that interesting how that worked out?
Yeah.
Okay, with the next one, Yes, I do remember this one from season 3. I'll let you talk about it first, because I know you'll probably have a few things to say about Ninja.
Well, this guy's called General Cryptor. Let's get that out of the way. General Cryptor is the general of the Nindroids, and I have to put him in the Almighty tier uh, because he is not just because I am a Nindroid and my name is Nindroid, but it's actually because I really always liked Cryptor as the general of the Nindroids. He had a lot to do in season 3. He was also a badass. He fought Zane a lot, which I really did like. He even got brought back for Day of the Departed to fight Zane again, which I
Yeah,
really liked as well. And he is very simple that he's just the head Nindroid and all of that.
yeah,
But at the same time, sometimes just being simple is good. And
yeah,
I really just like how he's the head guy. He is determined uh, uh, to get his mission complete for the Overlord and all of that. I like his interactions with Mini Droid, um, and I just really liked General Cryptor a whole lot. So yeah.
Hello, Sam Anita. General Cryptor is my favorite character. Yeah, that is fantastic. General Cryptor to me, no, he is actually a really great character. Actually, he is going straight into A tier for me, and I better bring up my stream so you guys can see where I'm placing him. He is number 7 on my list. If you, Sam, you don't know this, but our S rank here is gonna be the top 5, and then everybody else from the down below. I really do enjoy Cryptor as a villain, and as much as I like Mystery, and really, if they did the whole story with Mr. E's backstory being Zane's brother, that would have been really interesting. But because we didn't get that, or Mr. F, considering that's his actual name in season 16, Ninja would it have been more interesting if they actually used Cryptor here in season 16 and brought him back for Zane?
Um,
I think that would have been really
what
interesting if
if
they did that.
what if the reveal what if the reveal of Mr. E was that he was Cryptor all along? Then I would have
That could have been
been
great.
actually I think I would have liked that.
Yep, and that would have been great
Um,
for Zane. You know, Zane's main villain there.
yeah, exactly. Because I
Yeah,
mean, Cryptor was such a badass towards Zane. I remember the one scene out of season 3 where Cryptor was choking Pixel, and then he grabbed onto Zane's Technoblade, and he's like, "Well, if it isn't the original Mindroid, you old rust bucket piece of a machine." And
yeah,
he's like, "Welcome to the future." And I'm like, man, this guy is a really, really cool villain. So I'm like, I really liked him. I wish they'd done more with him, honestly.
yeah.
And I kind of view him and Mr. E as like the same character. So yes, guys, I would put Mr. E right with Cryptor just because they're basically kind of similar to what they
Yeah,
serve. You know.
I agree with you there. Like Mr. E, if he was part of this, I would place him in B tier personally. But
Okay.
Cryptor is definitely A tier for me. He's
Yeah.
definitely number 7 for me.
Yeah.
He is a actually really great villain. I really do like him. Now, with that said, I'm giving you. Go ahead. I'm giving you the floor. Go ahead and talk about our next character before I roast him. I'm going to roast
we have
him.
we have Kelmore here. He's in the meh category for right now for me. Um,
he is the funny thing is he's not the worst villain for
No, he
me.
is not the worst villain.
He is just a copycat of the Aquaman villain King Orm.
That's what I was gonna say. I
Um,
was gonna roast him, say he's Aquaman and villain 2.0. I was gonna roast him like the
yeah,
fish he is.
he's quite Ocean Master in the movie, when in the season. Also,
Yep.
funny thing is that Ninjago, legit Marvel, kind of stole Ninjago's poster of Seabound,
Yeah.
which I know you saw that, Dylan. That to
I
me,
did actually. That's a really interesting
yeah,
topic.
because legit Marvel, well, Ninjago stole Marvel's Endgame poster, so it's like
They did for season 16's poster. Yeah, what comes to so everyone's gonna be like, oh, but season 15 was the greatest thing ever because Nia's sacrifice and how much that meant. And in hindsight, after seeing the entire show, my opinion has changed on terms of what that season meant for the character of Nia and where it goes forward from that. But he's literally just a bad copy of Aquaman. I just and here's the funny thing: I loved Aquaman. Aquaman 2 is actually my most highly anticipated uh, um, uh, superhero movie of this year. I can't wait to see it. But he was
next.
just a really bad version of the villain from Aquaman. Without further ado, the next character. Okay,
Oh no!
I know how much this is going to shock you. And to anybody who's watched my older videos, especially on season 8, this is going to shock everybody here. Because Harumi, when I first saw her, I thought she was way too obvious to be the villain, and I kind of just didn't really like her. I didn't really like her gang, the biker gang thing. Uh, uh, um, but then you get into season 16, and it has completely just utterly changed my mind on her character. I really feel like out of everything season 16 gave us, and season 16 gave us a lot. I actually feel like the one character that we didn't get enough of in Crystallize was Harumi.
And at least you get her name correct.
And that's the thing. Like for the longest time, I couldn't get her name correct. I didn't know her name. I didn't like her at all. I didn't care about her at all. Now I know Harumi perfectly. Go ahead, Ninjoid.
Okay, well, if anyone knows me, I'm a huge Harumi fan. She is definitely going in the almighty tier. My favorite season is season 8, Sons of Garmadon. I think that's her best season, me personally. And I really liked how Harumi wanted to, like, she used Lloyd's emotions to kill him, not physically, but mentally and emotionally, which I feel like that's actually what we should be getting from a lot more villains from
Mm-hmm.
this modern time. Like we get so much of just the normal man versus man stuff, where this villain legit used Lloyd, like Lloyd's own feelings for her against him, basically, and his heart broke. You know, just a blow to the heart. And I love that this season and Harumi really paints what that is. And the funny thing is, spoiler alert for Crystallize, we actually find out that Harumi actually has feelings for Lloyd.
Yeah, which is
so,
great. Which
so it
I'm
makes
sure
it
the
even,
Ninjago fan base hates that, but me and Ninjoid,
yeah,
we both
yeah,
really
I
actually
love that
appreciate the fact that
actually.
they did
I
that
really do.
storyline.
Yeah, because it makes Harumi even more of a complex character, and I always shipped Lloyd and Harumi ever since I saw season 8. So when I saw them just fighting and all that, it's like, yeah, Harumi definitely felt something. So,
Yep.
that's where I'm at with Harumi, one of the
Yep.
best
And
films.
she is number 4 for me, and Vex is number 5 for me. So I made sure to fix that. Okay, the next villain. Okay, I actually really do enjoy season 9. I had a blast with that season, mostly because of what it did for the world building of Ninjago, with the whole thing about the land of the Oni and the dragon, and what it did for the character of Wu. I found really interesting with them um, uh, reteaching Wu what Wu has taught them. I found it really great how the characters were between Cole and Wu. Cole was the one. It's interesting because Wu was the one Cole was the first one Wu found, and Cole was the one who found Wu as a baby at first. So it was really interesting how that storyline played out in Cole's development and within that season. Trying to be the master to Wu was really interesting to watch. I really enjoy season 9, but I have to admit this: the villains are really not much. Like, he's not bad, but he's not
No,
much.
he's average.
He's average. He's B. He's B. He's average. He's not meh for me, but he's average. What about you?
He's good. He's joining Elspira.
Yep.
I
Okay.
like how dark he is by killing the dragons and using their power and all that. And I mean, if you actually found out, the his throne is actually the bones of the original Ultra Dragon.
Yep.
If you actually knew that, that was the bones of,
That's interesting, actually.
yes. So apparently he killed the Ultra Dragon, the ninja's old pets, from seasons 1 and 2.
It
So
really sucks, but
yeah, I know, but it's very dark, and I actually like that. So, um, he's good. He's good. He's nothing special though.
do me a favor and look at private chat real quick.
Yeah, sure. Oh yeah, sure. We have Kozu,
Just some technical difficulties with
and
my
then,
mind.
oh man, I don't even know that guy. Well, he is from season 14, but what is his name?
Okay, guys. I was trying to keep this professional, but hey, it's us. Yeah, neither of us know this guy's name. Oh, hold on, I gotta go to
I
my.
know who he is. He's the guy of the keepers of the
Oh
island.
God, I do remember him. I do
Yeah.
remember him, but I don't know his name. And then this is Kozu. I remember him. I can't remember what number season that was exactly. I did enjoy that season, but he's another character that is like, I almost want to put him in meh because I don't remember him very well. I'm gonna send him in B, but he might change. He might change. What do you think?
Um. Honestly, Kozu, I'm actually gonna put him in meh because to me he just doesn't do much.
If you're putting him in meh, I am too. Because I don't know what to do with that character.
Well,
Now,
Kozu never did much. That's the thing,
no, he didn't. He
I
never.
can't
He
just
was literally
lie.
just a stepping stone for the bigger villain that happened the next season. He really didn't do anything.
Like General Cryptor is like that's the thing. A lot of people say Kozu is actually better than Cryptor, and I fully disagree on that because Cryptor has a lot more screen time. Cryptor is a much better general than
Hmm.
Kozu ever was, and he's a lot more serious and he's a lot more badass. That's what I wanted Kozu to be, but no, Kozu legit is just ooh, you have the helmet. Okay, well, you are my boss now.
Yep. And now when it comes to our next villain, he's from that island, the whole Bojira
The
thing.
keepers. Yes, the
Yeah, the
keepers.
keepers of Bajira. Really? He kind of wasn't really a villain. I'll put him in
Yeah,
B
that's the
tier,
thing.
but
Like, I thought Ronan was gonna be here.
exactly. Ronan should have been. Ronan should be the one here. And I mean, now that we have Ronan in season 16, from where I see him, I actually really appreciate Ronan. He would be an A tier character for me.
Hmm. Here, wait. Let me look up this. The villain's name. Or, yeah, he's not a villain, but still.
He really wasn't a villain.
Chief Mamatus. Chief
Chief
Mamatus.
Momontis.
Yes. Chief Mamatus. Okay. Now, I have to rate him as a villain. As a villain, he is dog shit because he's not even a villain. Well, I mean, he's meh. I'll just put that.
Yeah,
Yes, you know.
he is meh. He is meh. I agree with you there.
Okay.
All right. So the next character we have is going to be for me another S tier character. He is number 3 for me. Literally number 3 for me.
That makes sense.
I really like Moro. I really enjoy season. I keep wanting to say season 6, even though I know that's
Season
the other one.
5.
Season 5. I really enjoy Moro. He's actually probably one of the best parts of that season, to be honest with you. I really enjoy the whole backstory, how he's actually one of Wu's older students that kind of got cocky, thought he could become the best, went off to do his own thing, ended up dying, and is now haunting the Green Ninja to get payback on Wu. Basically, is his whole plan. Of course, because he was ended up dead, he also ended up unleashing the world of the dead. So there's that. And go ahead, Ninjoid. Oh, you know what? I didn't even show my thing. He is number 3 for me. There we go.
Alright. Moro is basically. Now, if you guys have seen Kung Fu Panda, you will understand this reference. He is basically the Tai Long of
Yes, I do
the
understand that.
he is basically the Tai Long of this show. He was promised by his teacher that he would be the chosen one, the Green Ninja, and he wasn't. He wasn't at all. So what did Moro do? He became jealous, and he wanted to do it, and it was all because of Wu that he became a villain, and he wanted to prove that he was the Green Ninja, and it led to him dying actually, and we saw his own bones, for God's sake, his own skeleton and corpse just chilling where the pilots occurred, the Caves of Despair. So that's pretty fun, not gonna lie. Um, to be serious though, I really liked the Moro possessing Lloyd. I love
Yeah,
that.
that was really interesting,
Um,
actually.
I love Moro when Moro was just himself and he was just in charge of the ghosts. I liked
Moro and Lloyd's final fight while they were going to the different realms and all of that. You remember that?
Yeah, I do. I do
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah, that's pretty good, not gonna lie. And then, yeah, like I think Moro is a great villain. Also, the fact that he realizes that he made a mistake at the end, and instead of saying, "Oh, can I get redeemed?" he actually legit accepts that he failed and he will pay the price of death. And he legit died. Like he left. He said, "Woo, let go of me." And what did he do? He died, from the very thing he allowed, being freed. That is the cursed realm, the preeminent. Um, I also liked in Day of the Departed when they did bring him back. He actually helped the ninja. He wasn't a villain again.
Yeah, that was it was good they didn't make him a villain again.
Yeah.
Okay, our next villain. Oh boy, Mr. Bones. No, I'm kidding. I actually really don't remember his name. He's from like season.
Samukai.
Huh? Go ahead and say again.
Samukai. Skulkin General.
Yep, Skull King General. He's meh. Like, I would put him over Kozu, but he's meh. There's not even much for me to say about him.
Okay, maybe this is me just being nostalgic, but I'm putting him in at least good.
That works. All right. Is there anything else you want to say about him, or you want to move on?
He's a good general.
Okay, that's
it.
that's it. Okay. This is going to surprise you, Nindroid, because it surprised me when I was really thinking hard about where I wanted to place these characters earlier. I so want to put Nakon in my top 5. I so want to put him in my top 5. The thing is, I love season 6 not because of Nadakon. And that's why I have to remember, I am not ranking the seasons here. I am ranking the villains. And I love season 6 because of what that did for Jay's character. Nakam was a really interesting villain. He was basically the genie from Aladdin if the genie was the bad guy, which was a really interesting take. And all he wants is he wants unlimited wishes. He wants unlimited powers, but he doesn't have that. He can only gain that by granting wishes and hopefully taking a wife. Literally, that's his whole plan. And because Nia looks like his old wife, he plans to have his old wife take over her body. That's his whole plan. That's everything. And Jay eventually has to end up saving Nia, and Nia ends up falling in love with him because of it. Really great season, but when at the end of the day, I'm placing him in my top 10, but I can't place him in my top 5.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, for me, I'm not gonna say a lot about Nauticon. I love his deception, though. I'm gonna put
really
him
is good.
Great.
Yeah.
Right there. Oh boy, I get to talk about the big one.
You want to talk about him first, or shall I?
I'll talk about him first, if that's all right.
Go ahead.
Okay, this guy, Overlord. Okay, I've always wondered ever since season 3, when is this motherfucker gonna get back? I even remember back in season 5 when Moro said he had a master. I was like, yo, the Overlord was a ghost. Maybe he's in charge of Moro. And then I find
We
out
thought that was
the
going to happen for so
and all
long.
that. And then I'm like, okay, when
I
the
wish
hell
that
is
happened.
the Overlord gonna come back? I just kept on saying, when is the Overlord gonna come back? And then I started just having no hope.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the writers heard my call of
Hashtag.
Are you kidding?
And
They practically stole your idea and made it into season 16.
Yeah, yes. And then we
You
got
should call out copyright for your story being stolen.
no,
No,
it's
I'm
okay.
kidding. We're
It's
kidding.
okay though. And Ninjago crystallized, made Overlord an even better character than what he
Yeah, I
was.
know it's getting late for you, man. We're gonna try to finish this up real quick.
Yeah. So Overlord, he's my favorite villain.
And just like Nindroid, he is indeed my favorite villain. There we go. He is indeed, without a doubt, my favorite villain. I absolutely enjoyed Overlord. Now, for the longest time, Overlord was indeed my second favorite villain. For the longest time, it was my second favorite villain, but season 16 easily made him my favorite villain just because I'm a real big Star Wars fan, and he's basically Palpatine for Ninjago, and he was a great character. He really was the mastermind. And what season 16 revealed, we're not going to spoil it, but what season 16 revealed about Overlord made him honestly just one of the best. Just one of the best. Okay. Now we get to Garmadon. For the longest time, Garmadon was indeed my favorite villain of Ninjago. And it kind of pains me to say, but it's not because I don't like his character anymore. But after season 8, you know, I didn't need Garmadon to come back as a villain. That's the whole thing with me. Same thing with Nia. I didn't need Garmadon back as a villain. But then you bring him up with season 16, and we hear a little bit more about his story. I feel a lot for him. He's definitely in my top 10, but he is definitely not. He's definitely not my favorite villain. He's not in my top 5. What would you say for Garmadon?
Garmadon, second best villain.
Okay. That was a bit of a surprise. Okay, and now we have none other than... oh boy. I know you actually hate Season 13, and I really enjoy Season 13 because of what it means for the character of Cole. I really wish we had a true Cole season, and we did. It wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, but it was good. Personally, he's just not that interesting of a villain. He's going in B tier for me. The Skull Sorcerer.
Skull Sorcerer.
Granted, I did like what they did with him in season 16.
He's good. I'll put him in good. That's me being kind.
Yep. Okay, I don't remember his name. Do you remember his name?
Unagami.
I do remember what season he's part of. Unagami. Yeah, he was from
Prime Empire.
Yeah, the Prime Empire season, which I enjoy the Prime Empire season. It's not the worst. It's far from the worst season, but again, I almost want to place him in meh, but there's a spot in B, so I'm placing him in B and being kind. You're welcome. You're welcome. And then go ahead and place him there.
Unagami is actually good for me. I like Unagami.
Alright. Now we get to the last two. And remember, I still have a spot for my top 5 here. I am going to, without a doubt, place him at number 5. Which means, of course, this guy is in my top 10. Now, when it comes to the Oni Master, again, he's in my top 10. He's an A tier villain. He's mostly there because he's better than the other villains to me. But he really didn't do much. Like I expected. This is really interesting because now looking back at it, like I almost feel like what the Overlord has become is what I expected out of the original Oni. Like I really enjoyed what the Overlord has become from season 16. I wish we got that for him. Frankly, he was a better villain than the others. Don't get me wrong, but he's kind of just saying in my top 10 as my last pick because I feel like he's better than the other. That's it. That's it. That's all I have to say for him. As for the big blue guy himself, man, what can I say about him? He's one of the best villains of Ninjago. Yeah, he brings up so much nostalgia for me too, especially in that form. So much nostalgia. And in season 16, he's just fun. He's just fun to have around. God, I can't get enough of him. Go ahead with yours.
Okay, Pythor is my fourth favorite villain. I put Cryptor down in great. Just let you know, I put him down in great just because Pythor is above him and Moro. And then I put not Unagami, Omega in the meh because honestly, I would have put him in good, but I saw what Overlord was and the fact that they could have legit just used Overlord instead of Omega during March of the Oni just kind of pisses me off even more.
Yeah. No, I understand that. I'm kind of the same way. I'm going to keep it where it is. So just to recap our main five, for me, it is indeed, without a doubt, the Overlord, the Ghost Boy, Harumi, a.k.a. Lloyd's girlfriend, Vex, and the Snake Master himself. That's my top five. And as for Ninjroids, go ahead and tell them.
It is okay, so it is the Overlord / the Golden Master / the Crystal King. Then we have Garmadon, Lord Garmadon, also known as Garbadon, also known as Sensei Garbadon, also known as Resurrected Pure Evil Garbadon / now emotional and caring Garbadon for Christopher.
Which is hilarious.
And then we have Harumi, aka the biggest Lloyd simp ever, aka the quiet one, aka her parents simp as well. She simps for her parents. If someone brings up her parents, she will kill them immediately. You know? She also okay, so, and then there's Pythor, aka the last on Anaconda.
Pythor's such a good character. Really
AKA
is. He's come a long way.
Mr. Cannibal.
Yeah, come to think of it, he ate. Literally, I forget about that little fact all the time. He ate all of his kinds.
Yeah. AKA Mr. Big Tummy. AKA Giraffe Snake with that huge neck of his. And then we have Moro, the Master of the Wind, the Cursed One, when he was killed off when he was 16 years old. And man, oh man, he is Mr. Emo, also known as the Tai Long ripoff, because Tai Long came out before him. So
which that point, that brings up a good question, actually. He is Master of the Wind. Come to think of it, what is Lloyd? I know he's the Golden Ninja. But what is Lloyd's power? When you really think about it, isn't Lloyd like the Master of the Wind too?
No,
his powers are almost very similar to me.
No, it's energy.
Oh, okay. I was just
Lloyd's
curious about
power
that.
has always been energy. That is the
I
main.
was curious about that.
It's a
Okay, with that said,
combination of creation, but as
hmm,
energy. So it's a
interesting.
combination of Lloyd. It's a combination of fire, earth, ice, and lightning, but it's also creation.
Yep.
So
With that said, before my buddy over here falls asleep on this stream, we are going to end it there. I hope you guys did indeed enjoy our rankings of
mhm.
the top characters when it comes to the
No, not
villains. We might
November.
do another one for the heroes eventually, but Ninjoid, go ahead and tell people where they can find you at.
You can find me on Austin's live streams for No Nut November, alright? You can also find me on Galactic Chat on Saturday night at 8:30 or 9 o'clock, where I'm planning on bringing back some good old games. I'm also gonna start doing some content again that's Star Wars related, and I'm also gonna be posting all the rest of my Ninjago reactions. Episode 16's reaction just came out today, legit like 2 hours ago. So if you want to go
Yeah, I haven't
watch
had a
it,
chance to see that yet.
go watch it because it's a load of fun to see Dylan's reaction and my reaction to it. So go check it out. And also, guys, just check out the channel and subscribe to my channel because guess what? I'm forcing you all to subscribe. No, I'm joking around. I don't
No,
really
you guys should definitely not only subscribe to me, but subscribe to my buddy
subscribe to
Ninjoid243 as well.
Dylan. Subscribe to Dylan more because this
Yeah,
is
and subscribe if you guys want more Ninjago content, because I came out earlier today with a video on my personal thoughts about Kai. And you guys should go check that out. That's a really interesting video, and I plan to do that for. I have, I think, about 9 or 10 specific characters I want to specifically talk about in separate little mini videos like that. So you guys should definitely look forward to that. The first one's already up, Kai. The next one is going to be about Zane, which is going to be interesting. I hope you guys look forward to that. With that said, guys, you can also find me probably on Ninjago channel and usually in the chats of Austin streams. With that said, we are out. Thank you guys for watching, and bye.